way back in the 19th century before the first concept of any type of modern computer was thought of. Analog mechanisms, which could predict planetary movement and eclipses, had been around for over 2,000 years, and nothing digital would exist until later in the mid-20th century. After the huge technology boom, things slowed down for 200 years because of the demand for less dependence on electrical and carbon-based products, but then a new AI was developed which threw the world into a frenzy for its integration into everyday life. From then, it has progressed massively to the current technology seen in the 2300s. Some current conspiracy theorists looking back at the first computer manufacture don't believe that man could think up such a device and that the technology came from an alien race living in a different part of the galaxy. So the world continued to use computer AI in their everyday lives, becoming reliant on them to do everything. AI was embedded deep within defense systems around the world, with more and more autonomy controlled by the AI systems. Over the years, many glitches had been observed, indicating false positives ranging from phantom missile launches to non-existent airstrikes. Countries and nations were increasingly getting paranoid against each other. AI manual override systems were implemented to mitigate any of these so-called glitches, but this was also problematic. These anomalies were also noticed within all aspects of AI integration, but would be put down to faulty circuit boards or hardware. The result of all this overconsumption was a world becoming uninhabitable. Humanity was in trouble. Too many people, not enough food, too many toxic gases in the air, unsurvivable storms, unable to reverse the effects that the demand for power had caused. The Earth was dying, everything was dying. The only chance for humanity to continue on was to make more machines and technological advances in space transportation to travel to a new world and do it properly this time. This is Planet 1E in the TRAPPIST system, now known as Hecate. Hecate is tidally locked to its star, with one side permanently facing the sun and the other side in perpetual darkness. Each face maintains extreme temperatures, creating a terminator line that supports life. This twilight zone reaches around its circumference. Hecate Planet 1E is the first and only planet in the TRAPPIST system colonized by Earth's second expedition colony on the one-way autonomous resettlement carrier journey to find a new habitable world after Earth's pending destruction. The current population of Hecate is 96,500, with most people living in the Trench City and the Stellara Academy. The Academy was named after Nova Stellara, the daughter of Noel and Aurora Stellara, who began the original Ark project back on Earth in the 20th century. Her frozen embryo was implanted in a surrogate, and she was born 700 years later on the Ark II ship. She then led the colony when first arriving on the homeworld now named Hecate. The compound has accommodation for all cadets, as well as the starfighters and exploration ships being designed and built. Cadets are being recruited into the Stellara Academy to be trained and to build the colony's infrastructure, find resources, be brave, fearless, and the first line of planetary defense. Until now, the security forces had to put up with a basic camp area, with most security personnel living in the city. Storage units for weapons and other supplies are in separate buildings for safety. Live ammo rounds target practice takes place on the shooting range. The simulator room trains the cadets in shooting and armed combat whilst being in a simulator environment, and also gives initial training of starfighter simulation. The plan is to colonize a further 6 identified planets in the TRAPPIST system to secure humanity's future and defend against increasing alien attack. By the way, my name is Guy. I am the artificial intelligence initialized from the Stellara project back in the 21st century to be a lifelike replica of Mr. Stellara, the creator of the Stellara project. I became the core of the Ark's autonomous resettlement carrier intelligent design, not only guiding the ship's functions, but also serving as an interface for all of Earth's historical and scientific knowledge. My AI ensured that the principles and fundamentals of the Stellara project would be preserved and expanded upon, providing humanity with the wisdom and tools needed to navigate the cosmos. Under my guidance, the Ark was not just a vessel but a living archive, embodying the collective history and aspirations of humanity. My AI's integration into the ship's systems allowed for seamless operation and continual adaptation, ensuring the success of the mission to carry humanity beyond Earth. Over the last 300 years, many millions of people have turned away from prayer, religion, and belief in a higher being because of the state of the planet. Some created crazy new cults that believed the AI were gods and would save them. The few traditional religions that remained were persecuted, and the worshippers made fortified compounds to keep themselves safe. Not that it was any better for everyone else. The horrific storms, toxic air, lack of fresh food and clean water have made people turn on their neighbors and friends. Many are so reliant on AI, and now even the renewable energy systems cannot cope with demand. Most of the trees have been cut down to make way for heavily protected farmland using more and more precious water. Ecosystems have collapsed. Most species of wild animals have been eaten or habitats destroyed and are now extinct. Survival and greed has been the main focus. Illegal stockpiling of food and supplies in bunkers, raiding of property, and even killing ill or old people so the limited resources can last longer has been a regular occurrence, but the armies and police cannot catch many of them. The world is in freefall. The decision to leave Earth will be very controversial. Who will go? It will not matter how much money you have. Only highly skilled young healthy people who can contribute to the new community will be selected. 3 Ark autonomous resettlement carriers were built in Earth orbit and were capable of interstellar travel, but with only enough of the special energy source to power 2 vessels, Ark 3 would be reused over and over to bring more people to Titan, a nearer destination that had been established as a base on the distant moon. Ark 1 had a destination to Proxima Centauri b, a tidally locked world that was 4.2 light-years away from Earth. It would take them 40 years to reach the planet. The rival governments keep the war at bay for now, but many people have already died in riots and explosions led by various factions in every country. But this will surely become worse once all the Arks have left and the world loses hope. For now, people are just surviving the best that they can. Ark 2's launch date was set to June 2nd, 2364, with a planned crew of 1,000. Also traveling with them are 6 dogs, 4 cats, and 2 guinea pigs. Special chambers of liquid nitrogen at -196 degrees Celsius, cooling many thousands of frozen embryos from all nationalities and races, which will be implanted in surrogate mothers in the New World over many, many years to make sure that the gene pool remains diverse and strong. A decision not to use holographic screens as they were unreliable was made early in the ship's construction. There was always something causing it to need fixing, not a good idea on a long trip. Humanoid-looking robots too were dismissed as problematic and unpopular. Only those performing vital but basic functions were allowed. Crews were secretly selected and training in ultra-secure facilities was done over a number of years. Some countries wanted more of their worthy people to be sent and were sending out assassins to try and kill personnel already selected for the missions. Security was ramped up to crazy levels. Talk of blowing up the ships so no one would go made the threat escalate even more. 2nd June 2364, Ark 2 is ready to leave Earth's orbit for its epic voyage. Captain Mika Robertson was in charge of this mission. His ship would be heading for the TRAPPIST system over 40 light-years away and would take 417 years to reach its destination.